So this is a new study. And by the way, this is a new study that comes on the heels of 2 other studies.
Yeah.
And to be clear, this study involved thousands of cases that were reviewed. Now, it's not definitive. I just want to be clear, but it does matter. In other words, this may not be entirely definitive, that it doesn't tell you everything.
Yeah.
Then again, neither does CNN. So they looked at 50,000 hospital admissions for COVID at the VA. And they found that 45% of unvaccinated patients had completely asymptomatic or very mild symptoms versus 57% of the vaccinated. So either way, that's about half had no symptoms or very mild.
Yeah.
Now, this is not, and a very small percentage of those people actually ended up dying.
Yeah.
So we need to be clear about this. That means that half of these hospital admissions, when you're hearing about it, are just people going, do I have COVID? Oh, okay. All right, what do I do? Go home, drink fluid? All right.
Yeah, because I think
That's half.
they only bring you in if you're sick, right? Like until you get a bed and a room and everything.
Well, you would think so, but no, not a 50% are asymptomatic or very mild cases. Wow. In other words, at the VA, they were counting these as hospital admissions because someone was in the hospital who happened to have COVID.
Yeah.
Why would they admit you if you have no symptoms?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. You're like, hey, I'm not feeling well. Do I have COVID? And then versus, I feel great. Do I have COVID?
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. Why are you there?
So, and this is also important. Well, that's a good point.
Everything's
Here's
stupid.
why I think some people go there. Right now,
They're afraid.
These are completely unrelated. Vaccine mandate in the United States, right? 100 employees or more. You have to force them to be vaccinated. Or, according to Joe Biden, according to Fauci, he's giving them an off lane. It's being moderate.
Right.
Test them every week.
At a cost of...
The second that was announced, find a test within 50 miles of your house. We can't. Completely unrelated. But the reason why is if your only chance at getting a test, go into a hospital. Oh, you've been admitted. By the way, people will say this doesn't include children. This comes from 2 other studies that we wanted to cover on the show, but because of the rules on YouTube and everything, we said, well, you know what? It's not rigorous enough until we have more to add to it. So there were 2 exclusively pediatric studies, to be clear. So now I've got the VA, and it comes on the heels of 2 pediatric studies. These were published in May. Found that 40 to 45% of all pediatric hospital admissions were cases where COVID was incidental, meaning they were being admitted, and you can go to louderwithcrowder.com, right? We have the link in the description. You can go read the sources. That means that they were being admitted for something else, like cancer or a psychiatric episode, which, by the way, these have increased because of quarantine, isolation. People aren't going to school, and they happen to test positive for COVID. That's, again, 40 to 45%.
Wow.
COVID was incidental. They didn't even go because of COVID or have symptoms.
That's insane.
Everyone gets a COVID test if you're admitted right now in the hospital.
Are you saying locking kids up and making them wear masks and scaring them is somehow hurting them psychologically?
No. Watch Louder with Crowder live, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.